and their expectations will be one person should know all the tools and all the technologies. So they will definitely going to push, but in their many companies they are providing opportunities that you can choose the project based on your desired technologies, and then you can work on.
They think testing is easier than development, because in development you will have to write a lot of code, and which kind of scares them. Okay. uh, a lot of testers don't admit that they are scared of coding. They'll say, I don't like.
Because most of the time what happens, even I teach many on YouTube personally, when they stuck they will lost, because they are not able to seek the help from others, so they are going not be able to solve problem by their own. So from that point of time people will start losing interest and demotivation will start. So somehow need to tackle out that area. If their fear is, yeah, someone knows how to deal with fear, and how to, if they are stuck somewhere, how to get that solved, then everything is sorted. And over a period of time it's all about practice and experience. So
Mhm.
there are well-known YouTubers who are not into technical space. They are just creating a political videos or some
Mm.
other genre videos. They have created ChatGPT course and they are saying that AI will change the entire landscape, and they are selling their course and attracting people to learn AI. I cannot comment, but in general, what I would say is over a period of time, testers and developers will become same. The gap is being narrowing down, becoming between the development and testing.
Do you
In
want to
terms of
expand
a
on that?
skill set, so over a period of time, someone should know in and out of everything when they become manager or a lead or VP or something.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Namaste and welcome to the Test Chat YouTube channel. You're watching TesterSpeak, and I am your host, Brijesh Deep. Well, today I have somebody really, really, really special with me as my guest, and let me just show you who it is. Yes, it is the OG Fundoo tester, Nishant Gohel, in the house today. How are you, Nishant?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Brijesh. How are you?
I'm doing well as well. Thank you so much, Nishant. So, Nishant is a champion tester. We all know about it. He is a seasoned automation professional, which also we know about it. He's got very, very different and unique views about automation and generative AI and all such technical topics. And apart from that, he is also a content creator. He does a lot of work on his YouTube channel. He does a lot of work on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on various other social media platforms. And he has got a very unique element to his content. And we are going to know more about it as we go along. So, Nishant, have I missed anything about you in your introduction?
No, that's perfect.
All right. So, Mr. Fundu Tester, how did you get started with testing?
My journey, so like everyone, it's accidental tester. So after 13, I completed my graduation, and then I started a business. I'm a failed entrepreneur, and then I moved to Bangalore. So by that time, I have some contacts. I had a chat with them. I met them, and I know the what is the industry. I'm coming from electronics background, so I was not aware of what is a development, what is a testing. I was just looking for a job to get start my career. So someone suggested to start with the testing, and then I have started with the testing. So this is a very small.
Okay. All right. So, a few things in common. I also come from an electronics background. Electronics is common between us. Uh, I wouldn't call myself an accidental tester, but yeah, testing chose me as well. After I started my career, so a few things in common. But you know, over the years, we've seen, if we have followed your journey, okay, we've seen your views develop, and have you seen testing change in the past, 10, 15 years that you've been in the industry? Have you seen testing and testers evolve and change in the course of your career?
Yes. So I got a chance to start my career with a great reputed company in a testing space, which is a Mulia software. So I joined Mulia, and earlier days in 16 17, so there was a talks around exploratory testing, context driven testing, but over a period of time what I see is most of the talks and conferences videos more talks about tools, automation and Gen AI. So slowly I'm seeing that it is moving from that side, and this is what demand from the industry and company point of view, that is a selling point. So yeah, so company is pushing the same thing, content creator pushing the same thing. So that's why this the drastic change I'm seeing in the industry.
So you're saying that because of the evolution or the change that is taking place in the industry, because of the demand, the role of a tester is also evolved, if I may
Yes.
paraphrase what you just said. Okay.
Yes.
So, from a tester's perspective, what needs to change in me when it comes to learning to adapt myself to this ever changing demand in the industry?
Demand wise, if I say, see most of the following blindly, whatever we are seeing on a social media, YouTubers, talks, LinkedIn posts. So people are trying to follow, trying to learn tools, trying to adapt the technology. But gap where I see is more many are not clear with a career path.
Mhm.
After someone where they can reach after 5 years of experience or 10 years of experience. So those clear understanding people are not having, many people are, and they are trying to move from one technology to another technology and end up spending decades and 15 years. So this is what happening. And as a tester, it's a big umbrella. So there are many areas tester can work, like testing, core fundamental, automation is another story, performance, security, non-functional areas. This day backend field is evolving. So s- as a tester, they should stick to one. Not
Mhm.
everyone can work in all the area and can be a different. Yeah, if there are exceptions, people can learn very frequently. They can move to the different area, they can try another area and be expert in second area, but first and foremost there has to be expertise in one area and then move to the next area.
So you spoke about a very interesting aspect, and you chose a very important word, and that is career path.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a lot of testers I've seen, they confuse a job with career path.
Yeah.
They think that if they are doing something at the moment, for example, if I am just simply doing, say, data entry, okay, they think of that as their career path. Okay, I'm just giving an example of
Yeah.
how the mind tends to think. Similarly, in testing, if initially in a company where they're learning the basics of testing, and I'm using the most dreaded word, they're doing manual testing, as a lot of people love to call it. Uh, they think that that is going to be their career,
Yeah.
right? There is a, I mean, they don't think beyond that. Okay, my career journey will span over the next, if say my age right now is 25, and if I say want to retire at 60, so I've got 35 years ahead of me, and nobody is looking or talking from that perspective,
Yes.
right? And that 35 years is going to be the career journey that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I find that very interesting. Now, in terms of reshaping or shaping my career path, what are your recommendations for two sets of people? Okay, first, the fresh graduates who come out of college,
Okay.
and second, people who have been in the industry for say 5 years or 6 years or something like that.
Okay.
What are, because I believe and I've seen you say about it that the journeys or the thought process in both these groups should be different. Okay, so I want you to touch upon that again, please.
Yeah. So let me start with the freshers or fresh graduates. For them, they are new to corporates at the
Mhm.
first point, and they are not aware how people works, what are the challenges they are going to face, what is the deliverables, how to work with different people. They are coming from different states or country or whoever. So once they get into the job, first they need to understand how corporate works and what are the roles and responsibilities. If someone is starting with testing or automation or whatever task they are getting, so in first 2 years, figure it out. What are the areas available in the same field, and build the interest in particular area. So not everyone knows what is a performance testing. Not everyone knows what is a security testing from initial. Just look at this area and be a mature enough and gain some interest. And once you have gained the interest, once you know how people works, and what are the day-to-day jobs, responsibilities, then pick anyone and then move ahead slowly with particular area. Uh, Here I see the major distractions, and after the COVID, so these days mostly people are working work from home or hybrid model. So it's a kind of a labor work we are doing. We are just getting a task. We are not meeting people. We are just delivering our task. We don't know what is happening all over in general industry if we are not that much active on social media. So freshers thinks that whatever I'm doing, I'm delivering a task, I'm getting appreciations, and I'm getting a salary. So that's my work, and that is what I need to do over a period of time. But that is not correct. And India is a very social country. We have
Yes.
so many festivals, so many events. So people, freshers are keep engaging with these activities and keeping learning as a side part. So that is what major white space I see. And for graduates, uh, many are not focusing on fundamentals. So as a tester, the time was earlier, there was a technology was not that much strong. We have built the application, but these days applications are too big. Backend, no one can imagine what is happening behind the scene. So it's a too vast technological skills, tools, libraries, and everything. To as a tester, it requires two skills. One is a coding and one is a testing fundamental, because end of the day we are testing. So if someone know very well automation and testing, somehow they are lacking, then it's a problematic area. If someone don't know coding and they are very good in testing, they know in and out, but everything we cannot test manually or without the help of a code or any tools. So we need to make ground clear. Fundamental has to be strong, and then probably decide if testing fundamental is good. Then probably move to the programming language, any programming language, let's say Java. Then pick a ecosystem of a Java. Learn slowly UI automation, API automation, or if you wanted to learn performance testing, then pick a tools around the one path only. Don't distract between the multiple tools. Like if I know Selenium, then I should not learn Playwright because Playwright is based on the JavaScript. I know Java, so it is not part of a Java or Java ecosystem. So everything will change. So it will be a problematic in future. So this is what my understanding for a fresher career path and graduates career path. So first understand and then slowly follow strict path.
So you've touched upon some very important aspects. Now I see a lot of testers getting lost in terms of what to study, what not to study, and that is because of something again that you mentioned, that the content creators, obviously they are creating content
Yeah.
for their own growth as well, apart from the growth of the rest of the industry. So there is a lot of you know uh, content around the fact that comparisons, like playwright versus selenium, or earlier cypress was there, cypress versus selenium, or cypress versus playwright versus selenium, or things like that. Or manual versus automation, smoke versus
Sanity.
sanity. uh, so and there is a lot more in the testing world. So Nishant, this whole versus thing that has been created, this versus that, okay, what is your thought on that? How to deal with this?
See, sometimes these are useful to get quick insights about that. For example, let's say you are going to build something new and you wanted to figure it out very quickly, like whether I should choose this tool or X tool. Then you will get a fair, brief idea about what that particular tool does. So that's fair enough. But after seeing this trend, we should not distract with our path. And a content creator or industry, how they are working. So let's say I'll give a very fair example. So let's say if I'm going to any restaurant, they will give huge menu, different kind of a cuisines, Chinese, Thai, Indian. So, but as a I'm going to eat and I choose one dish, not all the dish. Similar way, industry, content creator, they are giving us everything. So we cannot choose everything. We have to stick to one tool, one technology, and one path. That's a simple answer I can give.
But don't you think that the employer is expecting you to be a master or the jack of all trades, so that
Yes,
they
yes,
can?
because see,
So,
the,
so if I choose only one track, how do I deal with my employer then?
yes, so yeah, they have to make money. They are doing something, they are selling automation and they have to make money out of it. And their expectations will be one person should know all the tools and all the technologies. So they will definitely going to push. But in their many companies, they are providing opportunities that you can choose the project based on your desired technologies, and then you can work on, because they have a huge amount of pool area. Uh, they will assign project and someone can choose and someone can work. So that's a one philosophy. Another way is, definitely we need to learn more and more tool. So for example, let's say I'm working on a Java ecosystem. I know the Selenium, I know TestNG, I know few frameworks, and then for a CI/CD, let's say I know only Bitbucket. So if I wanted to learn a new tool, so I can choose GitLab, I can choose TeamCity because it belongs to the same ecosystem. Similar way, Cucumber, TestNG also I can add. So if some companies working on a Java, so out of three they are choosing one, in other CI/CD out of three or out of four they are choosing one. So like that, I can expand my skill set, not a completely different.
I think you've hit the nail right on the head when you've spoken about this. Uh, in my experience, also, I have seen, that companies will obviously want to get more out of you, but you should not lose focus. I mean, make
Yes,
yourself good at something, and this I have seen in the industry as well. Uh, so I use a different terminology altogether for that, which is obviously people know about it. There is a generalist category and there is
yeah,
a specialist category.
yeah,
Okay, generalist is somebody who knows everything little bit. You
Yeah.
cannot know everything in detail, so you know a little bit of everything. So you are a general person, and a specialist is somebody who knows one technology absolutely deeply.
Yes.
For example, you mentioned, performance testing. So performance testing is a specialist skill.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, you need to know the ins and outs of performance. There is a lot. There is a lot to study. There is a lot to research on. Okay, and it is ongoing. It is not stopped at just one thing.
Yes.
Okay, earlier we used to think performance means okay only load or stress, but then we realized that it is not just load and stress. There are so many other things as well. Okay, and you tweak the configuration to
Yeah.
test a lot more. For example, now you're starting to think about volume testing, you're starting to think about endurance testing, you're starting to think about network latency, you're starting to think about latency due to components, so on and so forth. And that is why when we started with performance testing, it slowly evolved over and became performance engineering, so
Yeah.
to speak. Okay, and in general, when we talk about subjects like testing, we tend to keep the discussion focused on functional aspects only.
Yes.
We very rarely do we touch upon aspects like performance and security. And what has happened is because the machine learning models, whatever AI, generative AI we have today, they are all trained on the data that we provide. So if you ask ChatGPT to generate test cases, it will also generate functional test cases because most of the conversations are around functionality. Okay, it will not. It will say it will give you if you ask for 10 test cases, 9 test cases it will give, and it will give you a tenth one saying also okay, also check the performance. Okay,
Okay.
so right. So
Yes.
this is
True.
this is what happens. So you're absolutely right in saying that the specialization bit is kind of missing in the thought process,
Yes.
and I like the way you've emphasized on it. Thank you for sharing that perspective, and I want to continue this conversation a little further. So over the years, you've seen conversations around automation. You've been a part of many such conversations. You are one of the few people I've come across who's debated fiercely about 100% automation. I remember that post from you, and you and I having a little back and forth on that post. Okay. And obviously, I realize what you're talking about. After a lot of the conversation, you specifically said that in a particular context, 100% automation is definitely possible, which I kind of agree with if that context is clear to people. If you take the whole gamut of
Yeah.
things, then it will not be 100%,
Yes.
which is absolutely a fair point. And so for that, okay, to carry forward that automation perspective that you have, should I really be a specialist in automation?
Depends on the someone interest. See, coding. I see coding is not a easy job.
Hmm.
Uh, it requires a rigorous amount of learning and practice. Without that, it is not possible. And some people can solve a problem easily. Some people are good in design. So even in development industry, what I see is not everyone can solve a problem. Some people are very good in design. They move around the architecture area. Some people are very good in algorithmic skills. So it depends. If tester is having a good automation skills, then definitely they should look career as a automation engineer. But it is not limited to automation and what we see as a Selenium, because Selenium is not completely automation. There are many, many, many more things. And if there are lack of interest, then there are different areas so they can look upon.
So, can I develop my interest over a period of time? Because
Yes, definitely. So yeah, as I did, uh, when I joined the testing career, day one job, I have no idea how to write a hello world program. Over a
Mhm.
period of time, I practiced and I learned. So basically, we need to develop the interest. That's all. Like similar way, we are trying to new recipe, new dish, Thai dish, Chinese dish. We're developing a taste. The similar way, we have to develop their skills.
But Nishant, a lot of testers pick up testing as a career because they don't want to do coding,
Yes.
right? They think testing is easier than development, because in development you will have to write a lot of code, and which kind of scares them. Okay, uh, a lot of testers don't admit that they are scared of coding. They'll say, "I don't like." Okay,
Yes.
instead of saying, "I am afraid of doing this," they will say, "I don't like it." Okay, now, and this is a fact. Now,
Yeah.
I know people who will watch this episode will probably get angry for me for saying this, but this is the truth. I have experienced this, I have seen this. Okay, to be very honest, at a certain point in my career, even I went through that. Okay, I was scared. I was shit scared of coding. And I used to think that I will look really bad if my code doesn't work. Okay,
Yeah.
and initially when I started writing code, obviously it did not work. Okay, I used to hit okay run, and the whole screen used to be red. Okay, the whole console had errors and warning messages, and I was like, what am I doing? Okay, and that scared me because I would be like, my manager would come and say, you don't even know this much, you have no logic. Okay, these kind of thoughts used to go into my head, and I would make simple silly, very silly mistakes, like for example missing the semicolon, okay, in my code. Okay, or forgetting one parenthesis closing. Okay, and slowly I started realizing that it's about your focus.
Yes.
Okay, it's about having what you termed beautifully as having that interest in trying
Yeah.
to get things right and moving on, and I was able to fight my fear. Okay, and so from your perspective, in your journey, do you think it is only interest which is blocking people from learning more coding, or is it something more?
Uh, One is a interest, definitely. If someone don't have an interest and they're doing for just a job sake, they won't be able to succeed in any field. So we should make our work as a hobby. So that's the one thing. First thing. Another thing is a fear, and they are not able to reach out to the right people. Because most of the time, what happens? Even I teach many on YouTube personally. When they stuck, they will lost because they are not able to seek the help from others, so they are going not be able to solve problem by their own. So from that point of time, people will start losing interest and demotivation will start. So somehow need to tackle out that area. If their fear is, yeah, someone knows how to deal with fear and how to, if they are stuck somewhere, how to get that solved, then everything is sorted. And over a period of time, it's all about a practice and experience.
So if I am stuck, what is your suggestion to me? How should I deal with it?
See, these days, yeah, it is very easy to get the solution. We
Stack
have
Overflow,
Stack Overflow, ChatGPT,
Chat
we have
GPT.
books, we have LinkedIn. So community is growing basically. Everywhere we will get a support. But still, there are some problems we cannot share with a social media or on public domain. So
Correct, correct.
definitely we can reach out to without hesitation. We can reach out to our colleagues and get it solved. That's all. The one barrier here is a shyness. So people feel shy. If they will
Mhm.
think, if I'll ask someone, they will treat me as a stupid or foolish. So because
Correct.
of that mindset, they are not able to overcome the problem.
Correct. No,
I'll,
that
I'll,
is.
I'll share a recent experience. So recently I started working on a Cypress. Cypress and Java script is not my area. So I have just started. It's 3 or 4 months. I have written the code and everything is working. But I don't know. Visual Studio was a new to me, and I don't know what is how to align the code. So I have asked developer, how to can you help me how to align the code? Can you just share the shortcut? That is a very stupid question, but
Mhm.
still I ask.
I'll tell you what, it is not a stupid question. Okay. This is the mistake that a lot of us tend to make in the industry, thinking that it is a stupid question. There is no stupid question, but there are stupid answers.
Yes.
No question is stupid question. I will tell you why. I'll give you an example. Okay. Before the Wright brothers invented the plane, somebody must have thought, is it
Yeah.
possible for us to fly?
Yes,
People would
definitely.
have said, hey, what a stupid question. You don't have wings, you can't fly. Did anybody ever, at some point in time, somebody must have thought that metals or aluminum tubes can actually fly? Today, we sit inside aluminum tubes and we fly
Yeah,
from one place
place
to
one.
another. So, somebody has got that stupid thought question, stupid thought process, that stupid question, what we are calling a stupid. It is not stupid. Okay. It is a question. It is just a question. It has crossed my mind. Okay. The answers to that can be really stupid.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so you're absolutely right. Out of shyness or out of the fear of being
Yes,
judged, somebody will
yes,
think, "Oh, this person is going to judge me. He or she is going to think that I'm stupid, I'm silly, uh, I don't know this stuff." It's okay. Okay, nobody knows everything. It's okay to not know. It's okay to admit that you don't know and you're trying to learn. I'll switch over to Hindi for a bit, okay, because I'm more comfortable in sharing this. Okay. सो अगर सामने वाले ने ये सोच लिया कि मुझे कुछ नहीं आता तो मेरी क्या इज्जत रह जाएगी. Okay, that is something that bothers. Okay, what will be the respect in the other person's mind if they realize that I don't know this stuff? Why are you thinking about what the other person is going to think?
yes. So here basically key takeaway is let anyone judge. Because you are not going to work lifelong with them.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
will have a
absolutely.
certain friends. Let them judge. You follow just career path and get your problem solved. And
Absolutely.
if you want to overcome a problem, be a content creator. In colleague, they will judge, but they will not come to you, and they will not say you did something wrong. But if you go public, they will judge you publicly in front of everyone, and then you need to deal. And over a period of time, you will learn how to ignore and how to improve.
that's that's good advice actually. um, but this fear of failure, this fear of being judged, uh, we could do a lot
Yeah.
as we go in our career and as we become leaders. We could do a lot to help people overcome these kind of feelings. And I was reading an article yesterday which spoke about psychological safety, you know, creating psychologically safe spaces where people can say things without having to worry about being judged.
Yes.
Now, people who are in leadership roles, once you become a senior test engineer or a test lead, you are stepping up to that leadership role where
Yes.
you are trying to work with people who are younger than you, people who are, you know, less experienced compared to you.
Yes.
So you can start by building a psychologically safe space around them, making them more comfortable to speak out.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So that's something that I have seen, I've tried to build, and I work towards that constantly because I have faced it myself. Okay, I used to be shy, scared, and not ask, and then suddenly, when I found a safe space, I started asking a lot of questions.
Mm.
So, Nishant, continuing on the discussion on technology, today there is no conversation which is complete without using the term AI,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
What is your thought on AI?
AI, I would say there is some really good work going on, and there is a hype as well. Okay, so I have learned data structure algorithms from my mentor or teacher, I would say. He's working for Microsoft, and now he recently moved to US. So he was teaching me data structure in 1819 before COVID, and that time he was discussing about AI in Microsoft or Amazon. Next, every employee was discussing about AI. The same thing we are discussing these days after ChatGPT. In the world now, we see the normal ratio 80 percentage average and 20 percentage really good. So in every industry, this the ratio, and out of 20 percentage, only top cream employee 1 percentage who are very very technically sound, they're working, they are doing R&D, and they are coming with new approaches or new designs or new technologies. So AI is also, there are very limited people who are working on AI. So rest of the people are just creating a hype. They have not really worked on what I feel, and what I have my conclusion, because I have talked with many people. I have huge circle. So this is what my understanding is. From the company side of view, they are trying to build something. They are going to add one feature, two feature to their applications, and they are trying to sell their product as a AI aided product. So that is another way, another story of a discussion. But to me, or personally to someone, some software engineer, whether they should need to learn a AI or not. So learn using a tool like a chat GPT or any other gen AI, LLM algorithms, or any tools who is built on AI, using that tool does not make any sense. We are saying prompt engineering. Before prompt engineering, I know in 13 14 or before that, security field was at boom, and people were querying data on a Google, and they are getting something out of it. So the same thing we are getting from the chat GPT by asking proper detailed questions, and we are getting a solutions. That I don't see this is an engineering skill. But if as a tester you need to work on a AI, then you should know how to test algorithms which is built on a AI. So how you can make sure that algorithms are really efficient or not. So how you can test those, they, if you can do, then you can say I have worked on AI.
Interesting view. Few follow up questions on that because I want to expand on your thought. I like your response. I mean, you mentioned that there is a lot of actual work that is going on,
Yes.
and there is a lot of hype.
I,
So
before you ask
if I
before you
yeah
ask, I'll add one more thing.
yes
So
please.
let's say someone is saying we are working on AI, we are working on AI, and in future industry is going to change. But
Mm,
let's say at maximum 30-40 percentage they are going to build a feature on AI. What
mhm.
about remaining area? What about a backend? So whatever technology we are going to use, those technology will remain same. So it is not like that if AI is coming, then rapidly it will change everything, entire landscape. There will be some job loss will be there definitely, but there will be lots of new job creations.
That's very true. Of course, that is very true. So I will now go ahead and ask
Yeah,
my
please.
follow up questions. So you said there is a lot of actual work that is happening, and there is a lot of hype. So, as somebody who's curious to learn, how can I distinguish between actual work and hype? Or is it important for me to distinguish at all?
I don't think so. It is needed. As I said, stick to your career path and over a period of time, try to learn new technologies. That's all. So whether it's AI or cloud, still many developers don't know what is a cloud. They have not worked on AWS or GCP, but
So,
they are relevant in industry. Similar way, AI many people have not discovered, but still they're talking.
so it's not important for me to worry about the hype cycle,
Oh no, no.
no. Uh, I kind of agree with you that irrespective of whether it's hype or whether it's actual work,
I I I,
invest
I
your time.
I'll give a simple example. So
Mhm.
there are well-known YouTubers who are not into technical space. They are just creating a political videos or some
Mm.
other genre videos. They have
Mm.
created ChatGPT course and they are saying that AI will change the entire landscape, and they are selling their course and attracting people to learn AI.
I know who you are talking about. And if we take that name, this episode is going to become
I
immensely
don't want to take a
controversial.
name any, yeah.
So,
But
and I
definitely, we
don't
should
want to.
take a advice if someone has really worked and someone has really depth understanding of AI, then it will be point. It that conversation will be good and we'll get to know something. But people have not explored and they is trying to convey AI, AI, AI. I don't think so. It will make sense.
Well, so just this example of yours has cracked me up because I suddenly could see that person's image come up and say, I know what course you're talking about as well. Suddenly, in the middle of his video, he'll promote his AI
Cool.
course, and I was like, wow. But and sorry for saying it. It's a he, of course. I have said it. So be curious. We find out who it is. But nevertheless, I get your point absolutely that there is hype. So continuing on this thing, my next follow up question is it important for me also as a tester to do some R&D myself, be involved in research and development, and understand how this is going to be helpful to me or to others? Is it important for me as a tester, or should I
Yeah, as a
let the
experience or seasoned engineer, they should know that what is being happening around, and based on that we can take a career goal. But it is not necessary to learn everything because it requires deep amount of knowledge and we need to understand our reality, and then we can take a call or someone should take a call.
but don't you think, Nishant, if I don't understand or if I don't learn about it, I will fall behind in the rat race that is happening?
Still, see, there were many technologies. Still, I don't know. Blockchain, I have never explored. Cloud, yeah. Fortunately, I got a chance to work on a cloud. AI, I'm not. I have not done major work, but I have good understanding. In future, we'll see where it goes. Yeah, but again, it depends on the skill. So exploring and understanding is a different thing, and working is a altogether different thing. Working means you're trying to solve a problem, and then you should have that fundamental skills, and then you probably someone will going to pick up that thing and solve some business problem. So if over a period of time we are a quick learner, and then definitely we should think about it.
Yeah, and I have seen. So this is a very good approach, I would say, and I've seen a lot of people. What they do is, okay, there is a new technology. I want to. get into it. Tomorrow, people start talking about something else. I
Yes.
want to go into learn and talk about that also. 2 days later, something else comes up. I
Yeah.
want to talk about that also. So they are talking about everything. And if you ask them, why do you do that? That I want to know everything. I want to be a part of all conversations that are happening. But you make a very valid point that it is not necessary
Yes.
to jump into everything, right?
True.
So,
Understanding is a good having a understanding, but based on the understanding we are conveying, we are a leader, we know everything. That is not good.
yes, it's funny how this guy, okay, listens to our conversations, and we are talking chat GPT, and it just gave me a chat GPT related news. So, uh, so Nishant, I'm just trying to understand a few things better here, and I want to keep talking about AI a little more. Elon Musk announced some time ago that general intelligence, AGI, okay, artificial general intelligence, will be here next year, is what he said, and obviously teams are working now. If we know what AGI is, it is about artificial intelligence being sentient or being aware of what it knows, being conscious, having that knowledge of knowing that it knows some stuff and then expressing itself, which means you could say that AI will have feelings or emotions that way. Okay, somewhere close to it. It will not have feelings, of course, we know. But do you think people are talking too much about all this too early, or there is still room for us to breathe?
Yeah, there is always a room for everywhere. People are too much talking these days. So there was a AI and ML era. Not much people were talking, but after ChatGPT, everyone has started talking.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'll tell you why. Okay, because I watch a lot of content, and I am tired of my Instagram feed saying 5 new AI tools. If you don't know these 10 new AI tools, you are not going anywhere in the industry. Such posts are coming every now and then, and every content creator is suggesting AI tools to me.
Yeah.
Why, Nishant? Why? You are a content creator, and that's why I'm asking.
See, I'm a content creator. Still, I have a limited content on my YouTube. I'm not covering all together tools like
So why
techno.
not AI, Nishant? Why?
That's what I'm trying to convey. Someone should expert in one area. It is very easy if I were to create a tutorials on a playwright or whatever technology, I can make test 10 videos and I can publish and I can make some money. So, but that is not my end goal. People are trying to do that, they are making money, but as a consumer, if someone is consuming a content, then they should take a call whether should I need to learn or not. That is one thing. Another thing is tool definitely going to come because people companies are having a huge money, they have to invest something, they need to build something and they need to run the business. But over a period of time, uh, whether the tool is going to sustain in the market, that's a still big question. So recently, everyone knows, project was there. That was a free tool, and they have deprecated. They have stopped giving new features, and that company got sold. I don't know exactly what was happened, but what
Yeah,
if they have?
Try Scientist had acquired this
Yeah,
project,
yeah.
and then it
So
got yeah.
what if, let's say, I'm going to use one tool for my day-to-day job, and 2 years of, or a period of 2 years of time, I'm building something. I have solved some problem. I have built a couple of automation test or a performance test on that tool, and that company is discontinuing that product. Then what about the effort of 2 years? So that's a still questionable thing. So that's why people is majority companies are trying to trust on a legacy tools and technologies. They are not just jumping in and around new tools and technologies, especially in banking and healthcare industries. They are very lenient about the new tools and libraries. They will not switch easily on new tool.
Well, that's true, and you brought a very important point about spending some time to learn a particular technology, and then suddenly that technology goes away. Okay, and you have to do things all over again. Okay, so it's better that you learn something which has been over the years, which has been there for so many years. For example, Selenium.
Yeah,
Okay, people have been using it for years.
long
We've
time.
seen we've seen at least two generations of testers use it. Now three generations of testers using it. Okay, and they've been pretty successful with Selenium. Okay, of course, there have been new tools, there have been new technologies, and there have been obviously comparisons with Selenium. But Selenium has stood its ground, and there is a lot of support still available, despite the fact that it is open source. It is a great example of how people say, "Oh, open source tools they don't have support," but the
Selenium
Selenium
has.
community is a great example of how open source contributors can help you solve a lot of problems, right? So I'm loving this conversation because your thought process is enlightening, and people should listen to more of you, have more conversations. Now you spoke about something very interesting, that is content creation. So let's go to that side. You are the OG Fundoo tester, okay, the original, the one and only Fundoo tester, if I may say. Uh, how did the idea of Fundoo testers come to your mind, and
See,
why that name? Why that name?
name, I have decided a few names and then I've shared with the friends. So they liked this much, and I kept it. No major story about the name Fundoo Testers. But why I started is there is a I wanted to connect my learning with something else, because it is easy to distract.
Mhm.
We have Netflix, we have events, function, family events. So we can spend number of hours there, and end of few years we cannot achieve anything. So I have connected my content creator some journey with my learning, and it becomes a passion. And over a period of time, I'm keep doing the same thing. So that is what motivates me.
So, and I was saying this before the recording started. Okay, I have seen the content from many content creators, but I find your content very different, very refreshing, very engaging. It is so engaging that gurus from other fields, gurus, and I mean real gurus, are using your content.
Yeah,
Okay, the classic example is my good friend. Again, he's also from Bangalore, just like you, Shravan Tikku, who's a product management guru. He very frequently uses
yeah,
your memes
yeah.
in his content. Of course, with due credit. And in my chats with him, I've discovered how much he loves your content. Okay, so your
Okay.
content is quite popular, not just with testers,
Yeah.
with people from other fields as well. So that's So how did you develop this love, this fun for memes? Is something that I want to understand.
Initially, I have not started putting memes, but very early stage, I understand meme will generate engagement.
Hmm.
Okay, and then I have started learning how to put things together like emotions. I'm not these days. I'm just posting weekly once or two memes, not more than that. And I have decided strict guidelines for that. I'm not frequently not I can say I'm not at all using political content or any
Hmm.
adult words or anything. It will be a pure suitable for everyone, and trying to connect with real problem and how someone can feel it, how someone can understand. So that things I'm trying to do. So whenever I'm watching any movie, whenever I'm scrolling Instagram, so my main aim is I'll get some content and out of that I will make something. So entire week I create a content. It means I'll find a new content. I have my own WhatsApp group. There are two Nissans. My both the numbers are in that WhatsApp group. So I'll keep sharing that to that group. And Friday or Thursday night I'll decide out of 7 to 8 which one is best, and then I select the music and then I post it.
Well, so you've given your secret recipe
Yeah,
here.
but it's again art, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there is no
Yeah,
secret.
yeah, yeah. You can copy the ingredients, but you can't
Yeah.
copy the magic. Well, that's no. It's quite interesting the way you say it. But to be very honest, when I look at your content, initially I used to think, uh, again, I'll switch over to Hindi for a bit. अरे यार इस बंदे के दिमाग में ये आइडिया आया कैसे? Okay, I seriously thought about it. Okay, but now I'm so used to it. I'm like, oh, this must be from Nishant. So initially, I don't know if you have seen it, and I will let people search for it and see it themselves rather than providing a link or whatever. So when I started talking about nothing called manual testing, okay, there were memes about that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so initially for a bit I thought you were behind those memes. Okay, I'm being very honest.
Okay.
I don't know if you are the person or whoever is the person. Okay, but then when I saw it myself, okay, it was a meme about me, and when I saw it myself, I laughed, and I laughed so much I was like, "Wow, this is cool." I mean, if it is driving engagement, if through this also, if people are still talking about nothing called manual testing, I don't lose anything. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I thought the other way around. And I was like, okay, cool, chalega. So let people do whatever they are doing. Okay, and but I have to appreciate Nishant you for the not just the virality of the content, but for keeping that difference. Okay, you said you strictly adhere. You have certain guidelines. You don't post political content. You stay away from any adult content or content that is you know that has
Even
profanity or anything like that.
controversy word I take care like
Yeah,
many many
and from
people.
controversial, some of the memes, of course, automatically become controversial, but that's a different
That is
thing.
fine. Yeah.
That is fine. Yeah, that is supposed to be that way. Okay, but then you've created um, a difference, because delivering a message with humor
Yeah.
is a real art, and you are pretty good at it. You are damn good at it. I can say that. And so obviously I would love to see more and more memes and posts coming from Fundoo Testers, which is quite encouraging. And how you mix it up with actual serious content, and
Yeah.
those videos where you're sitting and talking very seriously about certain topics, compared to those memes. When I see, I'm like, wow, how can you have such a thing where you are producing such serious content and such funny content all at the same time? So Hats off to you, man, for doing this. Just absolutely love the work that you do when it comes to Fundoo Testers. If you are still not following Fundoo Testers and you're watching this episode, then it is my recommendation to you, go check out Fundoo Testers. He's there on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn.
Very
I
well.
will share the links of all his channels, all his content in the description of this video. You can go out and check him out. So I think that was a good promotion for you, Nishant. No, jokes apart. On a very serious note, people should absolutely watch your content. Okay, they get to learn a lot. Now, in your journey as a tester, okay, what have been some of the biggest challenges that you've faced, and how did you deal with them?
Challenges I have. See, earlier I was not clear about what will be my journey in testing. So I got a chance to work on a one project I have completed after 6 months. I was having a 6 months experience, and in Mulia everyone was talking about the Selenium, Cucumber. So in next 2 months I was on a bench and I have learned everything. And then I went to Ramit. You know Ramit, Ramit
Yeah, yeah.
Manohar. So he was a VP. I was directly reporting to him. He said, "You know many things, but now tell me, if I give you a task, then will you solve using this?" So that was a game changing advice for me, and I will get to know at very beginning. At some point of time, need to be an expert in one area.
Yeah.
So that was a I have not made it mistake, but it clears me everything. And another thing is, I was very emotional in early stage of my career. I was very emotional about my work and what bugs I raised and everything. So there were some conflicts, and then I came to know how to resolve and all things. So over a period of time, I learned how to tackle such problems.
No, I think that's very wise and very enlightening. Now I want to move away from testing and all of this, and I want to explore the personal side of you. So you said you are in Bangalore right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. So is Bangalore your favorite city?
as of now, yes.
As of now, yes. Okay. So if not Bangalore, then which other city?
uh so sometimes I'm discussing with my wife uh when we will be retired at some point of time, we'll move to either small village and we'll have a peaceful life, or we'll live close to the metro city but not in a metro city, so in the same 50-60 kilometer of proximity. So next generation will not that much away from the technology or new era. They will get to know everything, and we can stay together in a peaceful environment.
That's cool. And so obviously, uh, uh, you know, so you are from Gujarat, the land of
Yeah.
wonderful food. Uh, okay, I mean, Gujarat has so much variety of food. A lot of people complain that I've seen a lot of people saying Gujaratis eat vegetarian food most of the time.
Yeah,
But the sorry, you're saying something?
Gujarati and Rajasthani.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you are a combination of both, is it?
No, I am a Gujarati, but usually most of the vegetarians in India coming from Gujarat and Rajasthan.
Yeah, but Rajasthan is famous for some of the
Uh,
best non-vegetarian food as well.
Even Gujarat also.
Yeah, I have to still explore the non-vegetarian side of Gujarat, but I absolutely love the vegetarian side of it. Okay, I am a foodie, so I just absolutely love trying new cuisines, different food. Okay, whenever I go to a place, I always try to eat local food, local cuisine, whatever locals eat. not go to the same traditional restaurants and try the same thing. And I watch these vlogs from a lot of people who do travel vlogging, and they go to different countries and they're looking for Indian food, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? You are in a different country, try their food. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, well, with Indians, it becomes a little difficult because a lot of people are vegetarian, so they are looking for vegetarian options, and you don't necessarily get vegetarian food when you go to a different country. So I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. That's why they want to stick to the Indian food, and that's so that the vegetarian option is still available. I understand that, but my particular this thing is when you go to a different place, try their local food. It's interesting. Okay, try something different. Who
Yes.
knows? You may fall in love with it,
Yeah.
right? So Nishant, what is your next holiday destination?
Next, I don't have major plans, but yeah, my parents are coming, so maybe I'll go to Rameswaram, South India.
Wow. Okay, now that is one beautiful part of the world. I can tell you
And
this.
food, you said you are foodie, so I have a quite a lot of interest. I cook very oftenly at my home. What I understand is it's food is originate based on the availability or a period of time and based on the environment, warm place, hot place, cold place, something like that. So in Gujarat we used to believe that we are believing that fermented food is not good for health. I moved to Bangalore, South India. Most of the people are having a dosa and idli. That is fermented food. So it depends on the environment. There are so many factors. People keep
Yeah, yeah,
judging
yeah.
not have sugar, more sugar, refined sugar, oil, or it totally depends on your way of living and where you are staying.
Absolutely. 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 And thank you for inviting me. You said you cook very well, so,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I accept the
Today,
invitation.
most welcome to my home whenever you are coming to Bangalore.
No, no. And if you know, I don't know if you know already, I am from Bangalore. So next time I visit India, I will
Definitely.
probably land up in your house straight away. No, no. Jokes apart, we'll plan something. So I want to go back to testing, and I want to ask you a couple of last questions. Okay. So coming back to testing, mm, where do you think the testing industry is heading in terms of AI and a lot of new technology coming in? Where are we heading in terms of testing?
AI, I cannot comment, but in general, what I would say is over a period of time, testers and developers will become same. The gap is being narrowing down, becoming between the development and testing.
Do you
In
want to
terms of
expand
a
on that?
skill set, so over a period of time, someone should know in and out of everything when they become manager or a lead or VP or something.
That's a very interesting observation when you say that. So, and of course, if you look at the job descriptions, you
Yes.
can definitely
Yes.
make out that companies want superheroes. They want
Yes.
somebody to have expertise in development as well as in testing. I mean, rather coding and testing.
Yeah. Here I wanted to add one thing. So,
Mhm.
for example, let's say company is looking for everything. They are sticking to one fundamental. So, if everything is happening on a Python based, then development and testing will be around a Python. So, all the ecosystem will be on a Python. If it is on Java, then the most of the expertise required on top of Java, something
Correct.
like that.
Correct. That's true. But that brings me to another fundamental question. Okay. If you say that the gap between development and testing is becoming narrower and narrower. How will these modern day technologies such as AI help in bridging that gap? Because I will tell you why I'm asking this question. Because when these new technologies come, for example, right now we have generative AI, tomorrow we will have AGI,
Yeah.
okay, or some other form of AI. Okay, you mentioned blockchain and other technology which came. Okay, we had the IoT boom. Still, there is a lot of focus on IoT, industrial IoT. Okay, whenever this new technology or new trend comes, you still need testers to test the
Yes.
technology,
Yes, definitely.
right? So we will still need testers.
Yes.
So how do you see the gap between testers and developers becoming narrow?
Narrow in terms of work wise and understanding the amount
Okay,
of work,
you mean in terms of the skill?
yeah, skill set.
Okay, 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 okay. So okay, so I'm just trying to understand this a little more. So just to paraphrase what you said is I as a tester should also know things what a developer knows. For example, the programming language.
Yes.
For example, the design principles. For example, the application architecture and so on and so forth.
Yes.
And the developer will also need to know how or know test design. They should know what the test framework looks like. They should know what the test cases look like, and so on and so forth. So that way you are saying,
Yes.
okay, yeah,
Because
no, that
what
that is a very valid point.
what happens after some point, some level of experience, the coding is complex. It won't be
Mhm.
easy after a certain level of experience. Only difference between the library. So backend guy, Java developer is working on a Spring Boot. The similar way, he is doing a that level of coding. Tester also doing a that level of coding, but just a library will differ. So the gap is between those few libraries, not everything.
Right,
Pipeline and everything. It will remain same for dev and test.
correct, yes, yeah, yes, that's absolutely true. So it's important for the testers to realize that, okay, these are the things which are still the
Yeah.
same, and these are the things which could be learned, and that will become narrower and narrower, is what you're saying. That makes absolute sense. Now, on those lines, what would be your advice to youngsters who want to get into testing?
Youngsters. So as I said, first gain your interest in any area, and then start focusing on learning new things and keep learning and keep moving. That's all. There is no other shortcuts, or it is not going to happen. If you are trying to distract between multiple areas, then we will not reach anywhere.
All right. So, one last question for you, Nishant. What is your final advice for the testing community?
Keep learning and never distract.
Simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very, very simple. Well, Nishant, it was a pleasure hosting you. I know time is always a constraint, but then it was lovely to have you on the show. I should have had you long back, but finally, I am so glad. The Test Chat community is so glad that we've had you as one of the guests on our season four. Makes the season even more interesting. Um, Pleasure talking to you. Thank you for inviting me once again. So we will definitely catch up when I have the opportunity to visit India, visit Bangalore,
Yes,
or
definitely.
maybe some other place. We never know where destiny takes us, but we will definitely catch up. I did get a glimpse of you at Game of Testing in 2022, which was really nice. I wasn't expecting you around, but when I realized, when I heard somebody told me, "Oh, Fundoo Tester is here," so I
So that
was,
was unplanned. Everything I went to pick some there, pick one person there, and
and you met hundreds of testers.
yes, yes.
You met all your fans.
That
No,
was
it was really
planned
nice.
event. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. I don't know who has that picture because I believe there was a picture that was taken with you. I've been asking the organizers if they have it, but nobody has returned that picture. They want to keep it as a secret souvenir of yours, maybe. Somebody had a fan moment and they kept your picture just like that. So, well, it is fun to be with you. So hopefully next time we meet, we'll definitely plan something. And
Definitely. See you soon.
thank you so much for giving your time on a Sunday afternoon uh, to talk to me, to talk to the test chat community. We will obviously catch up on a lot of different topics. Our banter will, as usual, continue on social media. If you don't know, Nishant and I are constantly at each other, having having shots.
but but
So,
those debates will be helpful if you are
yeah,
taking as a positive.
of course, of course, of course. There was one very recent which I understood what you were trying to do. So the recent one,
Yeah.
okay, through your questions, I was like, okay, I get it, I get it, Nishant, I get it. So it was fun. Well, anyways, it was great talking to you, Nishant. Thank you for such a wonderful conversation. Some really insightful tips for testers. The Mool mantra, the Mool takeaway for me is to focus on the one thing and be a specialist in that and do it so well that that you get the most out of it, that you get everything out of it. Uh, it's a really good tip for people who are having too many distractions. So stay away from distractions, stay focused. That was really good advice. Thank you so much, Nishant.
Thank you so much to you again and the test chat community.
Thank you so much. Oh, Nishant, by the way, I must thank you also for doing that shortcast with Sachin, which I will put a link in the description of this
Yeah.
video. If you have not seen, you must catch that out. That was also really, really, really interesting. So thank you for doing that as well. Um, a lot of people don't know that even though I'm a part of the enablers, it was a surprise for me to see you as a guest. Sachin said, I will keep the guest list absolutely surprise. And
Okay.
I said, wow, okay, so he got Nishant also.
Great, great.
All right, friends. So that's a wrap on this particular episode of Tester Speak. We will have more insightful conversations like this with other guests. And until then, stay happy, keep testing, have fun, and namaste.
Thank you everyone. Bye.